Most contractors never break $1 million, and it's not because they're bad at the work, because they chose the wrong growth lever. The ones that do all have one thing in common. They dominate Google using the same boring local SEO techniques. In this series, I'm breaking down how real contractor businesses are using local SEO to build million and billion-dollar businesses. Today's business generates approximately $1.8 billion in annual system-wide revenue. They dominate map packs all over the place. So of course, we're going to be looking at their SEO strategy. And not only that, they also sponsor a NASCAR race. There they are right there. It is, hold on, let's let Joey Logano go around one more time. Window World. That's right. It's just a window replacement company. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down this $1 billion contractor SEO strategy. And not only that, if you stick around till the end, I'm going to tell you whether or not this is a stack the deck type of industry, because when you're looking at adding SEO to your web design business, you want to make sure you're working with the right niches. So windows, doors, types of businesses like this. Obviously not giant franchise operations like Window World, but those smaller window replacement companies in your town. Should you work with them? Are they even a good idea? But before we get into that, let's break down how Window World is dominating all over South Carolina. First things first, I got to bring up SEMrush like I often do to look at their authority score. Do you see the unfair advantage that they have that you and your clients do not have? Their authority score is through the freaking roof at 42. Just for a frame of reference, this is Then Can Designs, which is our agency. We've worked very hard on our SEO over the years, and we are barely at a 21 after several years. Always curious, like where different things are at. Local SEO Academy.co. We're getting there. 14. That's not bad. I mean, that site's only been around for a couple years. Look at that. Clicking along, building authority. Love to see that. So how does Window World do it? As I mentioned, authority is part of the SEO equation. There's two things really that all SEO comes down to: relevancy and authority. When somebody types something into Google, or the same thing could be true for things like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, the search engine behind the scenes is checking who is even relevant to this search, right? So if I look up window replacement contractors near me in Bend, where I'm at, then it's going to think, who are the window replacement contractors in Bend, Oregon? Here's the thing. Window World is actually not located in Bend, so they're probably not going to recommend Window World where I live. This was actually suggested to me. Keep making suggestions. Drop a comment below if you want to see another business get broken down like this. But this is like one of the biggest mistakes that I see people mess up all the time, is they don't tell Google what they do and where they do it. If you don't get that part right, you're never going to get suggested in the searches. By the way, if you're new to this series, we've broken down a lot of these easier tactics in earlier videos. Make sure you check out that first link in the description, because it's a link to this and it breaks down all those strategies, so you don't want to miss out on that. But in today's video, I want to talk about multi-location businesses, because as you become more established as an SEO provider, eventually you're going to work with somebody that has 2 locations or more. So I do want to talk about the rules, because as we can see there, they have a business here in Greenville. They also have, I believe, the same GBP, or like, this is weird, but they also have one in, Greenwood and Greenville. Sorry, I'm making up cities in South Carolina. Apologies to my South Carolinians out there. They also have one in Irmo, and they have one in Myrtle Beach, right? So they have locations all over the place, and they're doing some funky stuff. Actually, they're not quite following the rules. So I really want to break down what they're doing, how they're probably getting away with it perfectly legitimately. And I want you to have some tips for when you finally graduate and you get that first multi-location client. So let's take a step back and think about this for a second. So when you are starting to add SEO services to your web design business, a lot of people you're going to work with are just local service providers. Those are my favorite people to work with. You know, sometimes you might work with like a local store or shop or something like that, but you'll quickly see that sometimes the math doesn't add up, and they're not going to be a stack the deck type of offer, which I'll be talking about here in a second. And so what I like to do is look for those service providers, and typically they're going to be what's called a service area business. So service area businesses can have Google business profiles because they serve clients either at their location, the client's location, or a neutral location. And when I say client in that scenario, it's the client's client. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So contractors, health and wellness, legal, there's a lot of other things in between as well. Lots of local businesses that can be a great fit for local SEO services exist out there, and they qualify for Google business profiles. And you've probably helped somebody set one up. get one verified, maybe using our old verification video that's helped dozens, if not hundreds of people get their GBPs verified up to this point. Maybe you've done some optimizations. Maybe you've done some ongoing management, right? This is so important. But what happens when that client you have keeps growing and they end up wanting to open a second location? Well, before we talk about that, I want to talk about the scams that are out there. There are scams where people try to open multiple offices, especially in the same area. This is really popular in metro areas. Just look up insurance companies, look up legal companies. They're doing this all over the place. Sometimes they can legitimately do this. And there is one legitimate case for somebody like a smaller law firm, or say like a contractor, or even like a health and wellness space where you can maybe get away with this. Well, maybe not health and wellness, because they probably want to actually have a practice. So this would be more for like contractors and small law firms. Darren Shaw is one of the local SEO OGs. He's the one that helps bring out the Whitespark local search ranking factors, which are like the local SEO Bible. And he had this really good post here where he talks about how people try to make PO boxes and virtual offices work. They don't. They're against Google's guidelines. Co-working spaces, which are a gray area, and you got to make sure that you actually have a proper lease and permanent signage. But then he also talked about what happens if you just get some office space in a location. Well, that is actually how you want to do it. You need a real physical location there and a sublease, and that's your ticket to ride, as he says. I love the way he worded that. When you actually look at this document here and the local search ranking factors, the number 2 reason that causes you to show up is proximity to the searcher. So if you're in city B and the searcher's in city A, you have a very low likelihood of showing up in their map results, depending on the amount of competition. If there's not that much competition, then that's a different story. But if you have any amount of competition, it is almost impossible to rank for the Google business profile in another city. So Darren's kind of giving us a little hack here. If we can sublease in a location, maybe for just a few $100s a month, then you might have an opportunity where you don't have to open an entirely another office. That's your only legitimate way to do this as a service area business. However, eventually you become a big dog and you actually want to open a full location, and there's certain rules you need to follow. This is also true for those sublease opportunities. So pay attention. These are the guidelines that you need to follow. Right now we're on Google's rules. I use Gemini to get here, or AI mode, actually, not Gemini. And so they talk about chains and brands here. How do you express that you have different brands? And what they're telling you is that you're not supposed to say, oh, here it is right here. So this is the rule I want you to see, because this is really important, because a lot of people try to break this rule. It says that all locations should use the same name. So Home Depot location should use the name The Home Depot rather than Home Depot or The Home Depot at Springfield. Okay. You see that? That's an important distinction. So if you're going to have locations in multiple areas, for instance, we'll call it Jim's Roofing. It's got to be Jim's Roofing, Jim's Roofing, Jim's Roofing, not Jim's Roofing Eugene, Jim's Roofing Springfield, Jim's Roofing Corvallis, right? You can't do that, okay? That's actually against the rules. Now you might be wondering, this is Window World of Myrtle Beach. This is Window World of the Midlands. How are they doing this? Well, it's because they sponsor freaking NASCAR races, so they got money, and it's easy for them to do this because all you have to do to actually change your name on your Google business profile is scroll up on the rules a little bit, these rules right here, and it says for your name, for that to be the actual legitimate name on there, you have to be following your, let me find it, it should be your business's real world name as used consistently on your storefront, website, stationery, and as known to customers. Now, how do we get around that if we have multiple locations? Well, if you search something like SEO Bend, Oregon, you're going to see this one business. After all these ads here, nobody clicks on those things. You're going to see this one business up at the top of the map pack, and they're going to have this name. Whoa, Then Can Designs, Bend Web Design SEO. Sounds like a pretty crazy name, but actually, if you look at my business cards, I don't have it on the table right now, but that's exactly what it says. If I were to answer the phone, I would say, Then Can Designs, Bend Web Design SEO, Sam speaking. You know why I do that? Because I want to rank first, baby, because I want to win. And you probably want to win too, and your clients want to win. So they answer the phone, Window World of the Midlands. But there's one other step you need to take. And if you actually search for DBA SEO, then you'll probably find this video right here where I explain how you can get a DBA, a doing business as, for SEO purposes. I can almost guarantee you, without looking at the Secretary of State at South Carolina, that all of these locations have their own DBA or whatever they call DBAs in South Carolina. It's not always a DBA. Double check what it's called in your state. And they've filed this paperwork. It's usually $50 to $100. Let's look it up. Okay, so it's called an assumed or fictitious name. And according to AI Overviews, it cost a total of $0 to do this hack. And by the way, you're probably wondering, does this have other purposes for local SEO? Yes, look at what the number 3 most important thing is. It's having a keyword in your Google Business Profile name. So just by putting, like, it already has window in the name because the business name is called Window Worlds, but having Window Worlds of Midlands tells Google, oh, it's this part of South Carolina. If you're wondering, like, why are you picking South Carolina this video, Sam? I don't know. I chose a random state, okay? The point is that if you're going to have multiple locations for your client's business, make sure that you line up all the names, unless you're going to file a DBA, fictitious name. In Oregon, it's called assumed business name. Whatever it is, you want to get that paperwork filed. Once you can do that, then you can give individual names to the businesses. Now, if you want to be a little more risky, you can usually just tack city onto the end and not get in trouble. However, know that you could get suspended at any time, so it's risky. It's better to just get the DBA, get it filed, so that way you don't have to worry about it. And this works whether you're working with a law firm with multiple practice locations, or even a contractor that's just trying to show up in one of those new sublease locations, kind of like the technique that Darren was showing there. But now you're probably wondering, Sam, is this a stack the deck type of industry? In case you're unfamiliar, because you're not in Local SEO Academy where I usually talk about this, stack the deck industries are ones that make it easier to sell higher ticket local SEO because they actually have a very high margin or they're higher ticket jobs. So here's the thing. In Local SEO Academy, I break down the exact process of how you can go from feast or famine in web design to your first and then your second 6 figures by becoming an SEO provider. But it's way easier if you stack the deck and work with businesses that are more higher ticket. So the question is, window replacement contractors, do they stack the deck? Let's go to ChatGPT to find out. All right, so first things first, what you want to do is you want to ask, what's the average job of a window job for a contractor in South Carolina right now? Obviously, if you're looking at a different industry, replace with that industry. If you're looking in a different state, replace with state, right? Let it do its research. Make sure you have your highest thinking level that you can afford on the plan you're on turned on, so that way it actually goes out and does research. And so it said the average job is about $8,500 in revenue. So if you're doing, say, $1,500 a month for local SEO, which is about, what is that, 18,000 per year, you're looking at 3 jobs. 3 jobs would cover the cost of SEO. That's like a simple way to explain it. And sometimes that'll work to a less savvy business owner. But what I've noticed is a lot of the people we've been working with lately at our agency, they're pretty savvy business owners. So they'll come back and say, well, yeah, that's not the profit. So I ask, what's the profit on that? And so it's telling us that there's an average of around, like 900 something, right? And so now I just break down the math and I say, hey, if they're paying $1,500 per month for local SEO, what's the break-even job rate per month at the 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times ROI? By the way, $1,500 is a number I highly recommend people in Local SEO Academy to get to. A lot of them start out around $500 per month. A lot of my students, the Academites, we love you Academites, and they creep up to $750 and then $1,000. But just the other day, Tim, one of our members, he got $1,500 a month. Like, he did it. Okay, this is totally a viable number for you to get to, even if you're not dealing with USD. If you got AUD or CAD, like we figure out how to make this work in whatever currency you got. So look at this break-even chart. Let me get my big head out of the way here. And so you can see, like, the break-even, it takes about 2 jobs per month, and that's profit, baby. That's profit, okay? And then you look at 10 jobs per month, they're looking at 5 times ROI. My question for Stack the Deck, can we get to 5 times ROI with a single-digit number of jobs? And the answer is, it's close. It's really close. So I would say that when it comes to ranking my favorite industries to work with in local SEO, Windows is right on the bubble. I would probably say it's worth it. Most businesses would be happy with 3 or 4 times ROI on the profit of what they're investing in their marketing, right? That's the profit. Okay, that's a great number actually for marketing. And so I would say that this one it's on the bubble, but I would say yes, it stacks the deck. And so I'm okay with going after Windows, door installers, because these types of jobs are the things that we only got to get a handful, just a couple extra jobs per week through Google to get them a nice return on investment. Window World does almost $2 billion in sales. They sponsor a NASCAR race every year, they're a pretty big company. And here's the thing, the window installer you're gonna be working with is not gonna be Window World. So how can we take some of their unfair advantages and use that to help them show up higher in their area? Well, we just found out, especially once they start to expand to different areas. We've seen that window installers can be good industries to work with. And so if you want to keep learning more about local SEO, if you want to keep figuring out how you can start offering these services to your web design clients, if you want to get out of feast or famine and start building that MRR, that monthly recurring revenue, so you can actually have some stability from your income, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit a like so more people like you can get value out of this video. And last but not least, keep going on your journey and watch this video right here where we break down a recent local SEO Academy success story. And I think you're going to like this one. I'll catch you in that one.